Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Our lesson today will be follow the triangle. It's the second part of the triangle. In this part, we have three theorems for the triangle that we can explain as follow. If I have triangle ABC and a line segment inside this triangle, let's say line segment DE. If D is midpoint of AB, also if E is the midpoint of AC, so ED would be parallel to BC, also ED equal half BC in length. So it's like a line segment joining two midpoints in a triangle. If this line segment is joining between the two midpoints, so it's parallel to the third side and also have its length. The second part, it's the opposite. So if we have triangle ABC and a line segment inside it, DE. So if D is midpoint of AB and DE is parallel to BC, so E is a midpoint. Again, if D is midpoint of AB and DE is parallel to BC, so E must be the midpoint of AC. So another way, in triangle MNL, if I have a ray that is drawn from ML, so from point, let's say point X. So if this ray is drawn from point X, which is midpoint of ML, and this ray is parallel to LN, so Y must be also the midpoint of MN. Now we will go to some simple examples about this part. So number one, in the opposite figure, if D and E are midpoints of AB and AC, so D and E are midpoints, so DE is parallel to BC, also is half to BC. So BC here is 6 centimeters, so DE must be 3 centimeters. Number two, D is midpoint of AB, also E is midpoint of AC. So as we said, DE is parallel to BC and also half in length. But the required is measure of angle ADE. Okay, let's remember together. Remember the parallelism in the first term. If I have two parallel lines making the letter F, which we called corresponding. So DE parallel to BC, that makes measure of angle ADE equals also 90 degrees because they are corresponding angles. As we said, they make the letter F. Corresponding. Next one. If D and E are midpoints of AB and AC, respectively, the perimeter of triangle ABC, the big triangle, is 24 centimeters. Okay, so what's the perimeter of the smaller triangle ADE? Okay, let's look at AD. AD is half to AB. Why? Because D is the midpoint of AB. Also, E is the midpoint of AC, so AE must be half AC. What about the third side? What about DE? Okay, well, D is a midpoint, E is midpoint, so DE is also half BC. So the smaller triangle must be half the bigger triangle in perimeter. So if the bigger triangle is 24 centimeters, the smaller triangle would be 12 centimeters. Number four, if the perimeter of the square ABCD is 20 centimeters, so what can I do with this 20 centimeters? Excellent. So 20 divided 4, so each side is 5 centimeters. Okay, and then MF parallel to CB. MF is parallel to CB. Okay, what about point M? As we said before, the diagonals bisect each other, so M is midpoint of AC. Oh, let's go back to our theorem. M is midpoint, also MF is parallel to BC, so that means that F is also midpoint of AB. So each part will take 2.5 centimeters. So 2.5 up and 2.5 down. Next one. In the opposite figure, AD equals DB. So that means that D is midpoint of AB. Okay. What else? AE equal EC. So E is midpoint of AC. Okay. So I have two midpoints. That makes DE parallel to BC according to our theorem. If I have line segment joining two midpoints, so it's parallel to the third side. Okay, prove that Y is midpoint of XC. Okay, let's take it step by step. Since D is midpoint of AB, since E is midpoint of AC, therefore, as we said, ED parallel to BC. Okay. In the given, it is said that AX is parallel to BC. So if AX is parallel to BC, and I said that ED is parallel to BC, so that means XA or AX must be parallel to DY, the whole line segment DY. Okay, let's go to the small triangle at the left, which called ACX, the triangle to the left, ACX. Well, I have two parallel lines, and I have a midpoint. Again, AX, now I know that AX is parallel to DY, that's one. The second thing, that E is midpoint, so that means, therefore, Y must be the midpoint of XC, which is already required to prove. Okay, let's go to another set of examples. AD is parallel to BC. AD equals half BC. H is midpoint of BD. O is the midpoint of CD. Prove that AHOD is a parallelogram. Okay. Let's remember the 5 properties of the parallelogram. To prove that it's a parallelogram, we must find one full property, like each two opposite sides are parallel, or each two opposite sides are equal, or I can do it with 2 halves, like we're doing now. Okay, please concentrate. Let's begin with the left triangle. So now we will begin with the triangle to the left. So I have O midpoint, H midpoint. So OH parallel to BC and half its length. Let's write this part. Since HO are midpoints of BD and CD. Yes, I can write them both in one step. It's correct. So H is a midpoint, O is a midpoint. So HO must be parallel to BC. Also, HO equals half BC. That's our theorems that we mentioned at the first of the video, at the beginning of the video. So now I know that HO is parallel to BC, but it is given that AD also is parallel to BC. So since AD also is parallel to BC, so that means AD must be parallel to HO. Again, it's mentioned that AD equals half BC. And here I know that HO also is half BC. So if HO is half BC, AD is half BC, so HO must be equal to AD in length. So now I have two important points. I have that AD is parallel to HO, AD is equal to HO, that means AHOD is a parallelogram. Therefore, AHOD is a parallelogram. But I don't have a full property from the 5 properties of a parallelogram. Yes, but I have two halves. I mean, I have two lines that are parallel and equal in length, and that also means that AHOD is a parallelogram. Okay, let's go to the next one. Please try to solve it before completing this video. Try to pause it and try to solve it by yourself and then continue the video. ABC is a triangle in which D, E, and F are midpoints. D, E, and F are midpoints, okay? BC equals 12, AC equals 10. Find the perimeter of the figure DECF. I want the perimeter of this part. Okay, to get the perimeter, let's find the length of each side of this shape. Okay, since D and F are midpoints, so how I know they are midpoints? It's already given. So D and F are midpoints of AB and AC. Therefore, DF equals half BC equals 6 centimeters. Now I got the side DF. Okay. Since E is midpoint of BC, I don't need to say that D is midpoint again because I have already said it before. So I don't need to say the same information twice. So since E is a midpoint of BC, therefore ED, sorry for that, ED equals half AC, which is 5 centimeters. Of course, I know that FC equals 5. Why? Because F is a midpoint. I also know that CE equals 6 centimeters because E is midpoint of BC. So to find the perimeter, I will get the sum of those 4 sides. So it's 6 plus 5 plus 6 plus 5. So the answer will be 22 centimeters. Okay, so the last problem. Also try to solve it on your own before continuing this video. XYZ is a triangle in which H, O, and J are the midpoints of those 3 sides, XY, YZ, and ZX. If the perimeter of triangle HOG, the small triangle, its perimeter is 18 centimeters. So I would like to find the perimeter of the bigger triangle. Okay, I can do it like this. It's so simple. I'll say since HO and G are midpoints of XY, YZ, and Z. x. So therefore I will say very important three things. So hg equals half zy, therefore ho equal half xz, and go equals half xy. So each side in the small triangle is half the bigger side in the big triangle. So from those 3 points, we can know that therefore perimeter of triangle HOG equals half perimeter of x, y, z. Let's continue here. So therefore perimeter of the bigger triangle x, y, z equals 18 times 2 equals 36 centimeters. So now I guess we have covered all the points in the second part of the triangle. So now please solve your booklet page 46 as a homework for the triangle. And thank you for watching. Bye bye.